Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment in the night where I am taking the prerogative of the man with the microphone to be a little soppy. As I was hearing the story that Simon was telling during the ceremony, it made me think of two ideas that encapsulate what I think of when I think of Dan and Roxy. Those ideas are quiet strength of character and enormous generosity of spirit. Now, as I said, Roxy was introduced to us, and we were a very well-established group of friends. We'd known each other for years, had been watching our lives grow and change. And while it didn't occur to me at the time, I think that's a situation that for some people might have seemed intimidating. It didn't occur to me for a second, Roxy, that you were intimidated. Because Roxy walked into that room, and she didn't grandstand, she didn't make herself the centre of attention, but she knew she belonged there. Because Roxy carries with her a quiet strength of character. Roxy then enchanted all of us by coming along and getting to know us, not by making a song and dance, but by taking an interest in us, asking what we were interested in, learning about us so that we opened up. And of course, we all fell in love with her. Now, when I was reflecting on that, Roxy's quiet strength of character and her generosity of spirit, I realized that those are two qualities that I deeply value in my old friend Dan. These are two people who, when the occasion calls for it, can step up and can lead from the front. But they have the grace and the generosity so that when it is time for one of their loved ones, one of their friends to shine, they can step back and they can enjoy that moment with them. That's rare. That's a rare combination. And what's even rarer is to fall in love with and build a life around someone that shares those characteristics. And so everyone, it's my profound privilege to invite you all to raise a toast to Roksanna and Daniel. Cheers! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to steal your attention, but I want you all to continue enjoying your beautiful meals. We've come to that part of the evening where we get to hear from Dan and Roxy's nearest and dearest. And to start off, I want to start by introducing Ed and Andy to come and join us and hear from the groomsmen.
Good evening. For those who don't know us, I'm Andy, and this is Ed. We're Dan's good friends and groomsmen. It's an honour and a privilege to be here tonight, and we have the privilege of sharing some of the nuances of the groom that stands before you. But before we get on to Dan, I think we need to thank Roxy and Dan, Oksana and Baldy, Judith and Joel. It's been an incredible night. Thank you for having us.
So I first met Dan at one of our mandatory courses run by the Rax Mafia. Some people in the room will understand that gag. And Dan's a very well put together young chap. He's warm, he's friendly, yet he's confident and he's assured, which was fantastic for a man with a head more reflective than Roxy's engagement ring. Now, Dan will often be late and walk in and say, I've been at the hairdresser. But the best example of Dan's hair denial was when I was opening the run sheet for this very day. Things started off well, 11 a.m, groomsmen meet, some photos, 1 o'clock, suits go on, everything's sounding pretty good. And then I got to 2 o'clock, and Dan had blocked out an hour for his hair. Unbelievable.
See, that's right. For those who don't know this about Dan, he has a passion for power tools. He's the self-proclaimed master of metal. By day, he'll be fixing bones. By night, he'll be doing DIY. He'll be shoveling a few tons of river stones that Roxy told him was only a trailer load for the new outdoor entertaining area. Or he'll be building home cinemas to stream Lord of the Rings in high definition. Yes, he has a passion for high definition audio visual. There's nothing that gets him more frustrated than pixelated streaming quality. He's a perfectionist in everything he does. To my frustrations at every unit we work at, he quickly becomes the golden boy.
Now, Dan is an avid ice hockey fan, which, coming from a small regional town in Victoria, is rather left field. But then again, Dan's always had a way of surprising people with his interests and never one to follow the crowd. And speaking of surprises, since meeting Roxy, there's been a bit of a transformation in his life when it comes to fashion. It's like the girlfriend glow up everyone talks about. From flannel shirts and track pants from regional Victoria to looking sharp enough to be booked for the catwalk for the next Melbourne Fashion Week. Honestly, Roxy, you've done a superb job over the last few years.
I think most of us who know Dan well will know that he tries to convince you he's a bit of a rule breaker. He's a little bit edgy. I mean, he is a Metallica fan after all. But we all know your Spotify Wrapped each year is Taylor Swift, Dan. An excellent choice, but not very edgy. If you need more proof of Dan's rule-abiding persona, look no further than COVID. When Roxy met Dan, his date of choice? Zoom, of course. Social distancing comes first. So it made sense that when Roxy, an intelligent European with a raging sense of humour, incredible smile, met Dan, a rule-abiding heavy metal fan with a passion for high-definition audio-visual, she thought, this is the man for me. But in all seriousness, it's pretty clear why she chose Dan. He's caring, he's talented, he's an incredible listener, he's always there when you need him, and he's genuinely happy when the people around him succeed. We're so glad you both found each other, and you're so happy.
So can we please all raise a glass to Dan and Roxy, to many nights of high-quality audio-visual block replays, drinking wine, and Dan's fashion sense. So, to Dan and Roxy.
So the audio-visual thing there was in fact understated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like to invite, on behalf of the bridesmaids, Zoe and Natasha. And ladies, you will need this. Thank you. Take your time.
Where do you want me? Thank you. All yours.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to start by reintroducing everyone to the people who are the most important people here tonight. We all know them, we love them, and honestly, they're the main reason why we're all here. So let's give a round of applause to the bartenders.
Thank you, guys. All right. Now that I've acknowledged the real MVPs, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jofi. I'm Roxy's little sister. And when we were kids, I didn't really know Roxy. I was actually kind of scared of her. There was a big age gap between us. So she was just way too cool for me. She had the best music taste. She was effortlessly smart. And she was always, and I mean always, the smartest person in the room. She was confident, quick-witted, slightly intimidating. Meanwhile, I was just trying to exist. I was genuinely scared to tell her to get off the trampoline for dinner because that was Roxy's thing. You couldn't interrupt Roxy mid-trampoline sesh. This is a dangerous game. Just steer clear, guys.
But even though I was slightly terrified, as I absolutely idolised her. She once dressed up to go see Twilight movies as Victoria, fully committed, iconic energy, and I thought this was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So naturally, for book week that year, I copied her and dressed up as Victoria too. The following year, she dressed up as a Dementor from Harry Potter. So I obviously dressed up as a Dementor that year too. Side note, Mum, thank you for our costumes. And it didn't just stop there. If you cut a fringe, I'd cut a fringe. If you wore red lipstick, I would sneak into your room while you were on the trampoline, and I'd play with your makeup, put on that exact same red shade of lipstick, and I'll just sit in your room like I belonged there. I didn't just admire you, I studied you. The point is, I just wanted to be like you. I wanted your confidence, I wanted your strength, I wanted to walk into a room like you and somehow own it without even trying. You are strong, you are intelligent, genuinely stunning. Sometimes I don't even have the words to explain how grateful I am to get to call you my sister. And even though, and if I ever grow up, because that is up for debate, I hope to grow up just to be like you. Now, as much as Roxy is powerful and impressive, she also used to chase me around the kitchen table and whip me with a kitchen rag. And look, I admit it, probably deserved it. I did earn the nickname Little Shit. And honestly, I wore that nickname proud. So let's not stand here pretending we're perfect little angels, because we were chaotic, we were dramatic, and occasionally violent. This brings me to Daniel. So, because somehow through all the chaos, he walked in and thought, yes, this is the woman for me. Daniel, I know technically you're an only child, but I've always seen you as my older brother. The older brother who would have helped me with my homework, the older brother who would have saved me from Roxy's violent attacks, the older brother who would have applied the first aid when Roxy inevitably caught up to me. But more than that, you're the person who truly matches her. You match her intelligence, you match her strength, you challenge her, you support her, you steady her, and you love her in a way that is calm and consistent, and in absolutely no way terrifying. And one of my favourite things to watch is and you love her that is, I am all over the place. One of my favourite things to watch is the way you give each other books. Iconic, we're in a library right now. It's the hardest thing to explain, but you'll unwrap them, you'll look at each other, and there's a quiet moment. There's no big explanation of why I got you this or what made me think of you. You already are on the same wavelength, and you already understand. It's like you both completely know where the book came from and the thought behind it, the meaning behind it, the gesture behind it. It's a beautiful thing to witness, two people who just know each other like that. To know someone who fully, you don't need to over-explain your love. You just get it. Roxy, you've always been someone I looked up to, but watching you with Daniel, I don't just look up to you, I admire the life you've built. You deserve someone who sees how incredible you are. I love you both more than I can properly put into words. So please raise your glasses to great costumes, a lifelong trampoline confidence, into a full life of happiness. Thank you. Cheers. And before I sit down, I'd like to introduce you to someone who has been at Roxy's side through it all, the person who was responsible for about 90% of her bad decisions, and the mastermind who made sure you didn't get caught. So please welcome her ride or die, her sidekick, her partner in crime, Natasha.
Thank you, Jo. Sorry, just getting directions from the photographer. Here's okay? Okay, great. Jo, come. First of all, before I get started, can I please get a little bit of commotion for how breathtaking our bride looks tonight? And maybe a little bit more for the groom? Keep it going. Now,
I know that the last few months have been incredibly stressful for the both of you, so I just wanted to quickly say on the behalf of all of us here, thank you for curating this beautiful evening for us to celebrate your love under one roof tonight. I'm so honoured to be a part of it, and I know that everybody else here feels the same, so thank you. Now, to my speech. Sometimes in life, you see two people meet, and you immediately know that they are soulmates. The kind of people who can't do life without each other, the kind who will be by each other's side no matter what. And that is exactly how I would describe Roksanna and me. I'm sure you all know that Roxy has the biggest heart and the purest of souls. She deserves only the absolute best. However, as I was unavailable, Daniel is a very close second, and he does have my stamp of approval. Now, Roxy is, and this might be totally different of an experience to everybody else here, but Roxy is possibly the most agreeable person I have ever met. If I had a crazy idea, she didn't ask clarifying questions. She was already buckled into the passenger seat of my little 2010 Holden Barina, ready to go. She has been the ultimate accomplice to all of my crimes, and I mean that literally. Most of you know her as a sweet, honest, type A person who would never step a toe out of line, but I am looking at the woman who helped me smuggle a giant teddy bear the size of a small child, probably about this high, out of Luna Park. If anybody is wondering, we did name this teddy bear Pablo Escobar, and he joined us on many adventures for many years to come. I don't know where he is now. And yeah, he's gone. Now, I'm not saying that we are career criminals, but if I ever needed to hide a body, Roxy would not judge. She'd grab a shovel and ask if we could stop for some Mackey's chips and a chocolate frappe along the way. It has always been an interesting dynamic. Roxy was the best influence on me, while I was arguably the worst influence on her. I taught her how to break the rules, and Roxy taught me why it's sometimes better to keep them. She and I have the kind of friendship where we can go months without speaking, but the second we catch up, it is like no time has passed, except now we do have significantly less teddy bear contraband, which is okay. I'm all right with that. But in all seriousness, Roxy has been the gold standard of my life. For years, every time I met a new friend, I would subconsciously measure them against her. If they weren't as kind, as loyal, or as fiercely supportive as Roxy, they just didn't make the cut. So, Daniel, you can imagine how high the bar was. And I am happy to say that you are one of the few people to actually clear it. You've done a great job. Keep it up. I remember when she first told me about Daniel, I could tell that she was hopeful and excited about this tall, kind, handsome doctor, but he would not even meet with her for a walk because he was so very strict about not super spreading during a global pandemic, which is all right. A bit annoying for her at the time, but in my opinion, a massive green flag for a partner and medical professionals in general. So I would highly recommend this doctor here if anybody needs one. But when I finally met Daniel in person, post-pandemic, I think it was like 3 years. They were already together. They had a dog. They lived together. Now, let me make something clear. I had not met many doctors in the wild before, and I do mean no offense to the many doctors in this room right now. I'm looking at you, gentlemen. I did expect Daniel to be quite stiff. To my relief, I could not have been more wrong. Daniel had great banter, was easy to talk to, relatable, and overall fun to be around, at least up until the incident. I watched this man, and Daniel, I do hope you don't mind me embellishing here. I watched this man here be brought to his knees when he ordered a chicken burger, took a bite and found out it was vegan meat. He soldiered through the meal while I pestered him with questions about him and his life, but I could see it in his eyes. He was troubled. He couldn't let go of the fact that this food truck had wronged him by not accurately labeling their menu, and I honestly think it ruined his week. I don't know if Daniel learned anything about me that night, but I certainly learned one thing about him. You should never get between Daniel and his meat. Bit on the nose there. I also discovered that these two are in fact a perfect match. Seeing the way that you both interact with each other is special. It is hard to describe to those who haven't seen or felt it, but the way that you look at each other is so full of trust. It's gentle and patient, and you'll always meet each other in the middle, except for when Roxy doesn't feel like it, which is also okay. I'll back her up on that. I did know immediately during that first dinner by how calm your love was between the two of you that this was endgame. There was nobody else. It was just the two of you. Now, Daniel, out of the billions of people on this planet, I am thrilled that the two of you chose each other. Roksanna and I have held hands through so many bright moments, dark moments, and most importantly, safely crossing the road moments. It brings me so much joy to know that she has you to hold her other hand for life. Now, this is just one of the many toasts that you guys are going to do tonight, so please pace yourselves and join us in raising a glass to my best friend and her new partner in crime, to a lifetime of love, laughter, and real chicken meat. May you live as long as you like and have all that you like for as long as you live. To Roxy and Daniel. I love you both.
That was fabulous. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to be able to introduce Joel and Judith, Dan's parents, to say a few words.
Well, hello everyone. My name's Joel, and Judith's sitting there. She's not going to join me, but she's contributed most to this. So first, on behalf of Judith and myself, and I'm sure I speak also for Oksana and Baldy, Roksanna's parents, I would like to say thank you to all of you for coming and helping to make this a very special day for Roksanna and Daniel. Congratulations to Roksanna and Daniel on your wedding and on your commitments to each other, which were really very moving. Well done. And well done on all the organising you've done for today. Today is your day, and we are very pleased to be here to help you celebrate. Judith and I are delighted to welcome Roksanna and her family to our family. We have very much enjoyed the time we have spent with Oksana, Baldy, and Tatiana, Roksanna's grandmother, and sisters Jofi and Philippa, especially a few Christmases with Santa Clauses that do strange things, and look forward to sharing many more good times together. Roksanna, a very, very warm welcome to our family. We welcome you as our daughter-in-law. We recall when first we met you, it was at the Lyric Theatre in Sydney at a stage production of Hamilton. Daniel had arranged tickets for us as a Mother's Day present. However, Judith and I both had really, really heavy colds. It was COVID, and during the show that we were desperately trying to stop coughing or not cough at all with our mask on, because anybody who coughed immediately drew attention. And we managed to at least have coffee afterwards and catch up and get to know each other. After the nerves of meeting for the first time had really settled. The next day, we were meant to have a special Mother's Day dinner in Darling Harbour, and Judith and I were so ill we would just stayed in our hotel room. And you and Daniel had to have that special lunch all by yourselves. It was not a good start to building a relationship with our future daughter-in-law. And we wondered what you must have thought after we had gone missing in action the very first time that we had met. We've come to know you as a gentle, caring, and beautiful person. Beautiful not only in appearance, especially tonight, but also on the inside. Together with Daniel, you are both happy and content. And we are so very pleased that you and Daniel have chosen each other to travel this journey through life together. Daniel, we are very proud of you. We are proud of your achievements so far. More importantly, we are proud of the person that you are, caring for others, with a good sense of humour, determined and resilient, thoughtful and strategic, able to see other perspectives, a little bit adventurous, wanting to do the best you can at whatever you turn your attention to. And I agree about the do-it-yourself stuff, terrific stuff. Whether that be playing Wing Commander Privateer as a 4-year-old with Dad, and Dad still hasn't made it out of the canyon, learning to skate and play ice hockey, getting into medicine at Monash, the challenges of getting into the orthopaedic program, and then being disciplined and working to plan to get through the final exams to be admitted into the College of Surgeons. Apparently it's customary for the father of the groom to give some advice. Well, I have learned over the years that sometimes less is more. When you were a 4-year-old and I would answer your questions, you would say, "How do you know all that stuff? How do you know that?" And I could get away with saying, "Well, dads know everything." That lasted for a few years. But by the time you were a teenager, it was, "Oh, come on, Dad." Then as a 20-year-old, often before I had a chance to speak, it was, "Dad, now is not the time for advice. I'm not asking for advice. I just need to talk and you to listen." So I'm disguising this in the form of 3 wishes. The first is that when you and Roksanna have your own family, that your children will bring you as much joy, laughter, and happiness as you have brought to us. The second is that your love for each other will grow stronger every day. As you go through life's journey together, there will be some times when things just don't go the way you expect. You'll be cruising along, and suddenly you find yourself in the middle of a tempest. Wondering how you ever got there. You never signed up for this. Those are the times to support each other. Hold each other tight, and you will get through them together. And you will grow stronger for having done that. The third wish is that the tempests are few and far between, and the happy times are many. So please join me, everyone, in toasting Roksanna and Daniel to a long life together, filled with love, laughter, and happiness.
Cheers.
To Daniel and Roksanna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Joel. And now it is my great pleasure to invite Roksanna and Baldassar, the proud parents of the bride, up to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. I prepared 2 pages, in fact 3 or 4, but I have heard so many great speeches tonight that I have to rewrite all this tonight. Yeah, there's no way I can do better than what Joel just said. There's no way that I can do better what the bridesmaid, Joffrey and Tash has said, and the groomsmaid, and Simon. Thank you so much for that great...
Dan.
Oh, so, no, Simon first.
Oh, Simon.
Simon. Shh, my speech. You're next, you're the neck, I'm the head. And then 1 and then 2. So this is only to... I promise this is going to be painless. By the time you blink, it will be all over. Buckle up. So what I'm going to do, instead of going into a long speech, off script, I will make a few toasts, just a quick ones, to do, what not to do, that will help you, and make a wish, and that will be pretty much about it. So the first thing is, I'd like you to raise your glass for Judith and Joel for an incredible job, for bringing about this great, strapping young man, for who he is with a big heart, and he's already like a son to us. So thank you for that. And this toast is for Judith and for Joel. Cheers. Oh, Judith.
Judith and Joel.
I have an apology to make. Oh my God. I apologize, Roxy, for the collateral damage you have endured from the children, for sitting between the children from Brocklesby to Aubrey and all our family trips. Sorry about that. And I think when you're about to have children, make sure you buy a huge family car with a third row. To do. Oksana and I, we've been married almost 30 years. We will be 30 years in May. And every night I put my head on the pillow, I always tell her that I love her. Doesn't matter if she's got her iPod in, doesn't matter if she's sleeping already. But for the last 30 years, I always said to her that I loved her. Sometimes I said it very, very quietly because I may have been a little bit angry. But I still did it. So it's something that I wish that you come up with something as well. Something not to do. Don't go to bed with a heavy heart. Fix it. And the next day is going to be beautiful. I guarantee that. Sort it out the night before. Tell each other that you love each other. And I think you can't do any better than that. I need to say something about Oksana. We would not be here today if I did not have a strong woman on my side. She told me right at the beginning that I am allowed to be the head of the family. However, she will be the neck. She decides which direction I travel. So I would like you to raise your glass and for continued... No, just I love you so much, Oksana. So, for Roksanna. And lastly, so many awesome speeches. I can't Uber that. So I just would like to wish Roxy and Daniel exactly the same love that I have for Oksana, and exactly the same love that Judith and Joel has for each other. I wish no more and no less. So please raise your glass for Roxy and my new son, Daniel. Thank you. I hope I made you cry. Cheers.
Strong woman I am. I have sent a few emails to myself. Bear with me, I just make sure I open the last one. This is nice and short. Marriage is teamwork. One person is always right, and the other person is the husband. On a serious note, a famous French poet wrote in his memoirs, "Love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction." Roxy and Daniel,
Sorry.
Roxy, your daddy, Lisa, and I have tried to live by that same principle for the last 30 years, standing side by side, facing whatever it is life threw at us. With lots of laughs, giggles, and always united, we came through all our life challenges each time. I'm certain you both will carry the same strong partnership forward, standing side by side through whatever comes at you. Love, laugh, and live. To Roxy and Daniel. Let's celebrate.
And ladies and gentlemen, can we hear another round of applause for the wonderful speeches from the parents of the bride and groom? And now, it's my absolute pleasure to invite to the microphone Dan and Roxy. Please, if you'd like to say a few words. There you go, Roxy.
My most perfectionist friends. How could I live without you?
But on that note, good evening, family and friends. What an evening it's been. We've had an incredible wedding so far, and we can't wait to keep celebrating into the night. But before we do, we have some special thank yous we would like to make.
Me. To our parents, thank you for your love, your guidance, and for shaping us into the people that we are today. As two sets of parents, you are fantastic role models of love, work, commitment, and joy involved in marriage. And we will always be grateful for the example of relationships that you have shown us throughout our lives. We wouldn't be standing here without you, and we are endlessly grateful for everything that you have done and continue to do for us. To our bridal party, more trouble than worth sometimes, and our MC Dan, thank you for standing with us, calming our nerves, making us laugh, and such an important part of our journey. From when we first met to this very day, we are so lucky to have you all in our lives. And thank you for honouring us by sharing this special day with us. And to my husband. You are my home. No address, no walls, and just peace. Thank you for being my pandemic partner. We can survive anything as long as we're together.
And then to everyone here in this room, thank you so much for coming and sharing this day with us. A special thank you to those who have travelled far, some from London, some from Hungary, some from Sydney. This room is a combination of family, people who became family and shaped our childhoods, old friends who we shared important years with, and new friends where the journey is just beginning. But every person here has helped us, supported us, and made us better people. And thank you so much to each of you for being here with us today. You are our community, and it truly means the world to look around this room and see so many people that we love, all in one place, celebrating this moment with us. We will cherish these memories forever, and thank you for coming and being such a special part of our day. And to my new wife, thank you for being my best friend, my safe place, and my greatest adventure. I can't wait to build a life together. So please, for the last toast for a little while, but charge your glasses. And rather than to marriage and all sorts of things, we would like to raise a toast to love, laughter, family, and friendship. Cheers. We've got glasses behind us.